right, so we're ready to soar today. We're ready to think about being high in the sky like airplanes, and we're ready to take deep breaths to be lucky dogs by the skills that we know to and can use to take care of ourselves and to self regulate. Okay. All right, so we're going to start off with a big breath, and we're going to make a mudra. That means a little yoga with our hands by taking your hands and put the backs of your hands towards your device. Okay. Now, slide the hands across one another and then hook your thumbs together. All right. And then spread your fingers wide. And it looks more like a bird than an airplane. But we're going to hold it right here in front of our heart, right in front of your chest. And then we're going to breathe. So you might even want to close your eyes. Relax your tummy. All right. And put a smile on your face as you take a breath in through the nose. Feel the belly fill up with air. The side body expands. The collarbones lift on the breath in, and then on the breath out. All of that retracts as you hold your bird, your airplane right here in front of your chest. So breathing in and breathing out. Now look at the device and watch your body breathe, okay? Watch your body breathe. You might want to relax your mudra for just a minute as you do this. And I want you to watch your shoulders. When you breathe, are your shoulders doing a lot of lifting and up and down kind of motion? Or is it happening more in the upper body, all right? In the chest and the belly, all right? So I'm going to put my hands on my belly to really feel the breath move down to the belly. And as the breath goes in and the breath goes out, I can feel the movement happen. It's very subtle. But if you see yourself doing a lot of this and holding the tummy really tight, then you actually may be doing a kind of breathing that I've learned about this week in my classes to learn how to be use yoga as therapy. I've learned about this. Some people breathe with what we call chest breathing, and they use their shoulders and their upper body because they squeeze their tummy muscles really tight to try to look kind of skinny, right? And that really is not the way we want to take advantage of all the parts that we have for moving air in and out of the body. So put your hands on your belly and let's try it again. Breath in, move your belly. Another little sip of air, move your side body. Another little sip of air, lift the collarbones. And then let everything go. So yeah, so you don't want to be breathing up and down here, all right, with the shoulders. You want it to be your whole body. And that can take some playing around with and experimenting to get the feel of it. So I'm going to come back to the mudra. Remember, backs of hands to the screen of your device and take a few deep breaths in. As I sit nice and tall, you may want to stand up. Breathing in and breathing out. But boy, there's a lot of magic in a good deep breath. There's an opportunity to calm down, to think more clearly, for your body systems to work more efficiently and effectively. So, coming back to a good deep breath is always a win. It can help us fly high like airplanes in the sky. All right, so Mrs. Yeomans shared this good book with me called The Airport Book. And it's all about a trip to the airport. And so I highly encourage you to check it out because it's one of those books that has lots of pages and lots of things to study as you read it, like lots of comments and things to enjoy. But we're going to kind of go on a trip to the airport today. And so, in the beginning of the story, the little girl that's traveling here with her brother and her family, she has a toy monkey. All right. And this monkey is very special to her. All right, she's packing it in her suitcase. And this book is a little bit about monkey's trip through the airport as well. All right, so stand up and let's make a monkey with our body. All right, so what do we do for a monkey pose is we're going to breathe our arms up and then we're going to exhale and fold our bodies, but we're not, and we're going to go down as far as we can, maybe bend our knees to get lower. And then as we straighten the legs, our arms may come up off the floor, our backs will be neutral, and we'll swing our arms side to side and we'll bend our knees back and forth and we'll make a monkey sound. All right, let your body fold all the way down again. And again, it's okay to bend the knees if you need to get, if that helps you get to the floor. And then inhale, push through the floor and come up nice and tall with your breath. And exhale, thumbs to your heart and hands down by your side. So let's try that again. Breathing in and exhale. Reach for the floor, bend the knees, straighten the knees, wave those arms side to side. And you can be the monkey that the little girl packs in her bag. All right, exhale as you bring the thumbs to your heart and hands down by your side. And let's try one more round of that movement. So breathing in, reaching high. Lifting your arms helps you get a good deep breath. And exhale. Inhale, come up halfway. And then reach back down. And then push to the floor as you inhale up to the sky. All right, now how do y'all want to get to the airport today? We can go by train or we can go by car. All right, so let me see somebody who has an opinion. Anybody have an, oh, Leah. All right, Leah, tell us, how should we travel today to the airport? Should we go by train, or should we go by car to take our plane trip today?
Train.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to push our hands towards the device and breathe in. Pull the fists back and exhale and let it out. And this time make it audible, like let the breath come out as a sigh. Breathing in, push with the opposite hand. Exhale. There you go. Breathing in. Exhale. Breathing in. Exhale. Can you hear the train? Give me a woo woo if you hear the train. I just can see, I see your arms going up and down. All right, so we are now at the airport with our bags. So to pack your bags, everybody, have your bags packed. We're going to do the boat pose. So make your way to the floor space that you have to work in today and find your sit bones on the floor. Okay, and your hands can be behind your knees or your hands can be behind you. And this can be your bag that you pack, or this can be your bag that you pack, or you can rock back on the sit bones and this can be the bag that you pack, or this can be the bag that you pack. Yeah, and some people can even stretch their legs nice and long. I can do that with a little cyst. But this is really working the core strength of the body. So boat pose is going to be our bag and we're going to pack it. So snap it tight by giving a little hug to your knees after you pack your bag. All right, now then when we get to the airport, there's lots of lines, lots of waiting, lots of places to go through. So security and all the ways that we need to wait. We're going to start by getting in a line. So to be aligned today, we're going to do it two ways. We're going to first stretch out on the floor space and reach arms overhead and stretch your legs long. And then after you get a full body stretch, go ahead and roll over onto the belly, okay? And we're going to work our pose where we work all the muscles in the back body. Hands can be forward or hands can be back down by your side. Forehead is reaching to the floor. And you're going to squeeze all the muscles in your feet, legs, lift the legs back, body, stretch all the muscles and strengthen in your arms. Slowly lift the upper body and the head comes off the floor as you get in another kind of line here. This is a little bit of a curvy line. All right, and then some of the things that we pack in our bag, or all of the things actually, have to be checked to make sure we're not taking anything on the plane that would be dangerous to be on the plane. So we need to do an x-ray. So your choice, yogis, you can do an x-ray by making an X with your body by spreading your arms out or your legs out on your belly. Or if you would prefer to roll back over and stretch your X nice and wide, right, on the floor, you can do your x-ray, your X for x-ray. Nice and long. Feel like somebody's pulling on each hand and each foot as you get a good full body stretch in your x-ray. All right, now roll to your side body, push into the floor. And now it's time to do a lot of waiting. So we're going to do the chair position for waiting. All right, so the chair position is feet side by side, okay? And then you're going to drop your hips All right. And you're going to drop your hips as much as you feel comfortable because you're going to keep those knees over the feet, sees. Okay. And then you're going to reach your arms up, or you can take hands to your heart. All right. I try to do chair pose every time I brush my teeth to try to practice it because it's a challenging pose for Mrs. Broom to keep hips down and really works muscles in my legs. Yeah. All right, so we're waiting in our chair. And then finally, it's time to get on the plane. And we get on the plane, and there is an accordion type tunnel that we walk through to get to the actual vehicle itself. All right, so we're going to do that chair pose again for the accordion because an accordion tunnel, it's kind of like it bends back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And to me, when you sit down in your chair pose, it's kind of like you have a back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, right? Again, your shoulders can be relaxed. You want your shoulders relaxed here as you reach your arms out, but you can have your hands here to your chest if that helps. See if you get a smidge more to the bend. Can you do it? Yes, we can do hard things. All right, breathe in as you lift. All right, and we're now going to be on the plane. Okay, so you buckle up in your seat on the plane. So we're going to work some strengthening postures for our bellies here. Okay. All right. So you have muscles in your belly that go up and down. You have muscles in your belly that go side to side, and you have muscles that hold it all together. And you have also insides of you called fascia that's holding things all together. And we want to keep that kind of stuff strong and stretched so that it works well. All right. So it's kind of like putting on the seatbelt, right? Buckling up and keeping everything nice and tight and held together well. All right, so let's work it by doing our triangle pose. Okay, so triangle pose, remember, is the one where we put toes on railroad tracks. And then we take one toe and we stretch it to the side. Yeah. Now you can have a lot of space here between your 2 feet. So I'm going to create a little more. All right, then you take your arms out like you're crossing a capital letter T. Now, what's really neat about the Zooms is you can really tell if you've got this nice and even. I also love to do this in the pool in the summertime because you can tell if you've got one hand dropping lower than the other because of the level of the water in the pool, right? It's kind of cool. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to kick our hip away from the pointy toe. Yeah, breathe in. Push out over our pointy toe, roll one hand down and one hand high, and you can look up to the hand that's tickling the ceiling, or you can look down, whatever feels better in your neck. But you're really open here in the chest. And so if you have to come up a little higher to get that open, in other words, you don't want to be leaning down over the leg, wherever you can work it best. But you are working muscles, all right, in the core like we're buckling up for safety. Breathe as you work. Don't just hang in the pose. Make sure you're working it. And then press your feet into the floor. Breathe in and lift up and take your toes on the railroad tracks again. All right. And then take the opposite toe out to the side, and we will work triangle pose on this side. So arms are crossed like a capital letter T. Like, yep, right across. Check yourself and make sure you've got good posture there. Shoulders are where they need to be. All right, breathing in. Exhale, push the hip away from the pointy toe and roll one hand down and one hand high as you work your triangle on the other side. There you go. Breathing in and breathing out. Remembering to keep the chest nice and open. It's not so much about getting lower as it is about being open, because sometimes when people go lower, they start to reach with their chest to the floor. So I hope that makes sense and you can see the difference, and you can create that difference in your body. All right, we're buckling up. And then the neat thing about being on the plane is they have snacks. All right, so let's get the plane flying really strong, and then we can have some snacks. Okay, so reach back up. All right, and what we're going to do to fly your plane is you're going to balance on one leg. Now, I love to use a chair as I do this to help me do this. You can do it just freestanding as well. So I'm going to grab my chair back here. And then what you're going to do is you're going to balance on one leg as you lift The other leg, toe to the floor, belly button to the floor, hips side by side. And this is called airplane pose. Now, if you're doing this without the chair, you don't have to hands forward. You can do hands to the side, or hands can be back with your legs, okay? But I like the chair to help me support and to work my plane. And so we're gonna swap and work the opposite side. And again, you can turn around and do it if you wanna do it the other way. Ooh, hang on, Miss Brown. Breathing in and breathing out. Belly button is reaching to the floor. Hips are side by side. Shoulders are relaxed. Shoulder blades are working towards one another. Smile on your face. All right, you can lower your leg, and now we're ready to have the snack. So they have these tables on the backs of the chairs, so you can take your tray table down. And so what we're going to do for table position is we're going to take our hands back behind our body. We've also called this a crab before. So you're going to lift your hips, relax your head. Ooh, lose your lucky dog hat. And breathe as you strengthen and have your table ready for all the little snacks that you could get. Maybe some peanuts or chips or popcorn. Sometimes they serve a little drink as well. Not so much meals as once upon a time when Miss Broom was little and we would fly. We would have more opportunity for eating. They don't feed you as much. That's one way they save money on planes these days. All right, so we're ready now to be looking out the window and looking at the clouds. And we're going to take some deep breaths. All right. And we'll make some circles on our hands as we think about, got some circles or some ideas of circles when we think about planes, like propellers on some planes or on the nose of the plane. When we get all our baggage after an airport trip, a plane trip, sometimes we're at the carousel to get our baggage. So we're going to use some circles. Plus, it's just really tickly for your hands. So breathing in and trace a circle around. And breathing out as you continue. So half of the circle is the breath in. Half of the circle is the breath out. Half of the circle is the breath in. And half of the circle is the breath out. Yeah, try it on both hands. Half of the circle is the breath in. Half of the circle is the breath out. Breath in, breath out. Breath in and breath out. Yeah, that kind of tickles and feels good to my hands. I hope that feels good for you. And we're just now time to land our planes. We might have a little jet lag if we've traveled over some time zones. So let's do some resting. So today, if you like to rest, remember Miss Brum's favorite way to rest is to lay on your back and then to put your legs up the wall or legs in a chair. All right. You can rest with your body out on the floor. You can rest like laying on your belly. You can rest however you feel most comfortable. But we're going to pretend today that when we got off the plane, we landed in a place with a wonderful beach. And so as you rest today, think about being on the beach and feeling the sun shining down on your body. And as you rest and just let your breath be easy. Think about how warm and comfortable it feels as you relax in the sun. It's not too hot, it's just right. Maybe there's pelicans or birds flying in the sky, or maybe you hear them twittering and making happy bird sounds. Maybe you can hear the waves of the beach crashing as the tide rolls in and out. Maybe you're with your family and it's fun to play on the beach, dig sand castles, or swim in the surf. And just take a few seconds to be still and quiet, laying and relaxing on the beach. You know, you can come back to this beach anytime that you want to go. And the beach isn't your place that you most love to hang out. Maybe you like to be more in the mountains or skiing on a ski slope or wherever it is that you most like to enjoy free time or use your imagination. Maybe you go to space or maybe you go to a desert. But know that you can use your imagination and travel to this place of comfort anytime. But for now, we're going to wiggle fingers and toes and stretch and wiggle and invite some movement back into our bodies. All right, I'm going to roll over to my side body and then push into the floor so I can come up to a seated position. All right, and usually we end with prayer hands, right? Hands where we push palms together, thumbs to the heart. But today, let's go back to that mudra, that little yoga for our hands where we're like a bird, or we call it the airplane. So backs of the hand towards your device, and then crossover skimming where you hook thumbs, and then stretch hands here with a big breath in and a big breath out. All right. How are you feeling, everybody? Got some thumbs that can show me what's feeling inside of you? Oh, I see a thumbs up. Thank you, Nuri. Still using your tools. Yeah, got thumbs up from Leah. All right, let me stop the recording.